So for this painting, we will be using textured paper. You can use either a canvas or textured paper. Then we have a black, a yellow green, a cobalt blue, and white as the paints. Going on to the brushes, we're going to use a medium-sized round brush. A fan brush is optional. A medium-sized flat brush and a large round brush, and a toothbrush for the splatter effect. We'll also have a glass container for pouring water and a paper palette for mixing of paints. So for starters, we will wet a large round brush in water. I'm using a textured paper here, and I'm going to wet the whole of the textured paper so that my background color can blend in smoothly. So I'm just putting a lot of water to wet the paper and load it with water so that the paints blend in smoothly. So I'm starting with the colors. I'm mixing a little bit of cobalt blue, a little bit of yellow green, and mixing it with a round brush, adding a little bit of water, and I'm going to dab the paint onto the wet surface. Now I will not uniformly cover the whole surface with the same shade. I'm going to play around with the shades of cobalt blue, that is by making variations with cobalt blue, a little bit of black cobalt blue, and a little bit of yellow green, and a mix of all of these. And I'm just going to play around and dab the paper with these shades to create that sky effect. So I'm just going to cover the whole paper with the same shades. So you can see how I am creating variations of the same shade. Now, if you're doubtful about the colors, you can always look at the reference image and try to recreate the similar colors. Now, if you do not have the yellow green, you can always mix a bit of lemon yellow and a little bit of green to create the same shade. Now I'll just continue doing the play of colors in the background through and through in the whole of the paper. Now I have completed filling in the background. I'm just adding a little bit of black mix to add a little depth and finish the painting. Now using a small round brush, I'll just dab in white and then use the large round brush and just blend it in to the blues. This will give like a very beautiful bright contrast with the blues. Just finishing the background and blending in through and through. Now wherever I feel there is a deficiency of color, I just add in a little bit more of color and build up the painting in layers. After doing the overall filling up with colors, I just use a large round brush and just blend it all over. Now using the flat brush, I'm going to outline the land area and the trees. So using the flat brush and black, I just outline a bit of land area, just swiping the brush sideways and building up the painting. I'm adding a tinge of yellow green to give that lustrous highlight, and a bit of white to add a bit of highlight again, and I'm continuing to just blend it. Now moving on to the trees, I'm going to use a flat brush and I'm going to just keep it perpendicular to the paper and pull it downwards and just create the bark of the trees, which I'm going to fill in later on. So I'm just going to do one or two trees on either side. You can modify it a little later. Now I'm going to start with the leaves. I'm using the same flat brush and I'm going to pull the brush sideways now. You can angle it a little bit to give that tree branch effect. Now I'm going to show you how to build up the leaves with the fan brush later on. Either you can use the flat brush like this way, or you can use a fan brush and build up the leaves. So this is the method how you can use to build up the leaf using a flat brush. Now with the fan brush I'll show you. So I'm taking a fan brush, I'm tilting it to the side and I'm just dabbing it, making sure that the edge of the bristles are touching straight on the paper, not completely pressing the fan brush, but just using the edge. Make sure that when you're using the fan brush to build up the tree, make it like an ascending way, like taper towards the top and more broad towards the bottom. I'm going to move on to the next tree. I'm going to do the same motion, same brush strokes on each of the trees. Now when it comes to the top of the tree, you can just place the fan brush perpendicular and pull it upwards so that you get that tapered, pointed tree top effect. Now I'm going to continue building up the branches and leaves on the other side using the same brush strokes and same motion, just the lateral sideways pulling for the branches and leaves, and for the tree top you just keep it perpendicular and pull it upwards. I'm just going to fill in all the trees on this side with the same kind of motion, just modifying it wherever required. Now using the flat brush, I'm just going to once again highlight the tree barks. Just wherever the tree bark is, I'm just going to pull the flat brush upward, not through and through, but in between here and there, so that you have that effect where the leaves cover the bark. So you don't pull a line completely, you just pull it intermittently and then fill in between with the fan brush, the leaves in between with the fan brush once again, and just finish off the leaves and barks and the trees. Now I'm going to use a small round brush, then add in the white paint and add in water and make it a little bit more fluid, and then just going to sprinkle it over the sky, so you get that starry night sky effect. So make sure that it is very fluid. Just keep on splattering the white paint over. This is one method you can get this splatter effect. You can see how small droplets fall and create that effect. So the next method is to use a toothbrush. Similarly, load the paint onto the toothbrush. It should be fluid, and then just spray it over the painting, and you will get the similar effect and more smaller splatter than the brush. Now I'm going to use the round brush and just giving more of details in the sky, just putting a dab of white and then blending it with a large round brush to get that hazy sky effect. Just repeating it again, putting white dabs and then just blending it with a large brush. So I'll just add some more splatter with a brush. We'll get a little bit larger splatter when we do it with a brush and doing the final detailing. And there you have it, your starry night sky painting.